So I had sold one of my neighbors on this Corona several years ago when we were talking about it. And he had seen my video about the new Bahco Laplander. Anyway, he was ragging me about me kind of abandoning my Corona, but I was looking at it, and I don't know what the newer plastic versions are, but this thing's actually pretty impressive. And kind of wrote down a few things that are about it. Let's first go over look at the curve that's left by the Corona compared to the Bahco. Okay, so it's quite a bit more aggressive. The set is 100 thousandths on the Corona, and it's about it's 57 thousandths on the Bahco. So you're clearing out quite a bit more wood, you know, alleviating any kind of tension in there when you're actually sawing. And it's pretty aggressive. I've noticed that they're calling the newer Coronas kind of a razor, which I have one. It's called Razor Edge, and it's in my truck right now, but my truck was lent out. Anyway, it's got more of an alternating height on the blade, whereas this is a uniform height. But like I say, the set is, I don't know if you can see that at all, but alternating set is 100 thousandths. And this blade actually does cut in both directions, as opposed to the newer one. This is the 7-inch blade on the Corona 40. There's another version. It's a little bit longer. I want to say it's 10-inch. It's in my truck. I don't have it right now. So this is the one I carry in my backpack, but there are other ones a little longer and I carry in my truck. And the blade is shaped a little differently. It's a little longer and pointier. But like I say, there's the blade thickness on the Corona. I wrote down here it's 47 thousandths. On the Bahco, it's 45 thousandths. You know, the teeth on the Corona is 7 inches, and the Bahco it's 7 3/8. The handle here is 8 3/4. Overall 15. The handle here is 9 inches, and like I say, the blade is 7 3/8, and that portion there, and overall 16 from here to there. Cut width on the Corona is 90 thousandths, and here it's 120 thousandths. So the set is, like I say, 100 thousandths, but the curve is actually 120 on the Corona, and 90 thousandths on the Bahco. Both of them are about 6.5 ounces. I imagine this is pretty dried out. I want to say I bought this from Always probably around late 1984, 85 when I bought my first house, 83, 84, somewhere around there. And it's been around that long. Like I say, I have another one. It's a little longer. I'm not sure if it's a 40 or not, but it's a different blade. But there you go. I mean, he was right. I mean, this Corona, which you can still find, I don't know if you can get a replacement blade for it. I know Corona does make the newer versions of this, folding saw, several sizes. And I think the blade's going to be a little bit different. Like I say, it's got the alternating height, and they call it a razor, saber-tooth razor edge or something like that. So, I don't know. If you can find one of these guys, This I paid, I ended up looking it up. It was 32 and some change. And I did look up on eBay. I thought I saw one for about 12 bucks plus shipping. And it looked almost new. So I've carried this for quite a while. And I've got another one in my truck. So I don't know. That Corona's still pretty impressive. And like I say, that's about... I will have to say that the Corona's a little harder to get going because of the more aggressive set. But once it does get going, I think it took, I want to say this was 4 strokes, and this was 6, because it took me two initial ones to just kind of get it going. They were not really full strokes. They were just kind of bouncing around the top until it actually started to dig. So 4 and 6, but actual cutting is 4 and 4. All right, well, there you go. Here's kind of a little review on the old vintage Corona 40 versus the newer Laplander. And this one doesn't have a lock on it, but you know, you can tighten it up quite a bit. Oh, I can't. It'll move. I don't know this thing. So, no locking mechanism on it. It does fold with the wing nut. Tighten with the wing nut. This is the one thing that kind of bothers me on my backpack, is that it sticks out. I often thought about just turning that down, but it sits inside that little groove in there. If you took it off, it would make it, probably render it useless. There you go.